guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Charlie and I sell handmade polymer clay earrings and accessories from my shop called Charrings. So today I'm going to try and give you some tips for Etsy, because we all know how I feel about Etsy. Okay, I'm not the biggest fan because of fees, etc. But I have mentioned in previous videos that it is good to start off with. If you just make a website and leave it, you're gonna get no sales. So starting on Etsy or marketplaces like that is a really good idea when you're starting up your business. So this is more for beginners, but also if you've decided to stay on Etsy and that works for you, then fair enough, and this can also be tips for you. But this is more of like a beginner sort of level of tips if you've just started or you're thinking about starting an Etsy shop. I feel like when I started, there was loads of tips, tutorials and stuff like that, but I feel like these days I don't see anything really of it on tips and things. So I thought I'd make the video because I know a lot of people are just starting up their businesses, wondering what to do with Etsy, so hopefully some of these key tips will help you. I'm going to start off with some simple ones, potentially obvious, I don't know if you know or not, but I'm going to give them to you. So the first one is have a banner. This is super simple. You can make it on Canva, you can make it wherever, but just make sure that you have some sort of banner. It just makes your page look more professional, but also it's more appealing to people, shows that you actually use the platform properly and you're utilizing everything that's on there. Now, I didn't even realize until about 3 years in that there is actually an about me page. So if you can go into that, post a picture of yourself, maybe with your orders or just you in general. People love to see the seller, I realize, and me included. When I shop somewhere, I love to get to know the seller and what their background is, what their story is, and know more about their business. So it's a really good idea to do that. It just tells people a little bit more about you if they're a little bit dubious to buy or anything like that. Especially if you're new and you've got like 0 sales or very minimal, having an about me page will just give people a bit more information about you and they know that it's legit before just buying from you. There is an announcement section. I have this filled out, and I always have done, with just my social media links and a little bit more information about my shop. And then I also fill this one out if I'm on holiday and stuff. If I don't want to completely close the shop, I'll pop up an announcement to say I'm on holiday from this date, etc. It just gives, again, a bit more of a personal vibe to your Etsy, because now having a website, I can create it however I want. I can have whatever on the front page. Your storefront on Etsy is what they give you, and you just add your products. So if you haven't got a website, or you have but you want to personalize your Etsy more to yourself, that's where the announcement and the about me page sort of comes in. So one thing I will say, which I actually really struggled with when I started Etsy, was obviously Etsy is a marketplace for a bunch of small businesses, right? So we're all competing against each other. I sell polymer clay earrings. This could go for any business, but I'm going to use mine as an example. I sell polymer clay earrings, and when I used to type that in on Etsy to see what my competitors are looking like, why are their earrings like £3? Some people's are like £2, £3, £4, under £5, and I'd be thinking, how can I compete with that? How can I compete with that sort of price? And also, how are they making any money? And I feel like then, if I was compete with them and theirs was £5 and I put mine at £4, another seller might be thinking, oh, I'm going to put mine at £3, so I beat them. But I actually think it's quite the opposite. If you price your products a bit higher and actually what they're worth, then people are going to see that as you're going to pay for what you're getting. For my business at first, I used to sell things at £5 and £7. I had them two prices. There was no logic behind them. I just sold them at them prices, but that was sort of the quality they were at the time. But now my products are 15 to 25 sort of pound range, and that's because the quality is much higher and I'm pricing my products at what they're actually worth. I would still say I'm underselling slightly. I would personally say they are worth more than what they are at the moment, but I need to practice what I preach and put the prices higher, because it won't mean that you get less sales. If anything, it means you get more sales. A lot of people will see a £3 price range and think, well, that's the quality of the item. That's proving the quality. And if your products are high quality, they should be priced at the price that they are, if that makes sense. Don't look at competitors and undersell yourself. Always put your price at what you actually think, because it doesn't affect your sales, in my opinion. If anything, you'll get more for having a higher price. When I was doing Etsy full-time instead of my website, I did notice that they boosted your products more when you post more and when you're sort of active with the site. So posting new products regularly, although this might be hard for a lot of people, trying to do that, I think helps Etsy boost you a little bit, and they see that you're still using the platform, you're still there sort of posting and engaging with Etsy, if you like. So I think that is definitely something that does help as well, is just being consistent on there, making slight changes in your listings as well. I always used to do that. I always used to make slight changes in the listings, whether it's upping the price slightly or whether it's changing the description, updating it, anything like that will just boost you a little bit, I think, and just let Etsy know that you're still there. Now, on the same subject of posting items, I would also say post more. A higher volume of items on your shop is going to give you more of a boost, in my opinion. And I've seen a lot of other people say this as well, and I did notice this myself. Like, some people say to post at least 100 items. A lot of small businesses don't have 100 items. If you do, definitely do that and post it sort of regularly so that you can keep getting boosts from Etsy. But try and have as many products as you can on there. Don't think, oh, I'm just gonna have one or two, because where are people gonna find you in the thousands of people that are on there when you've got 2 products and you're brand new on there? So the more items you can have on there, the more chance one of them is gonna get pushed out. I would touch on SEO, but honestly, I don't even get it, and I've been doing this over 4 years. I don't get it. It is so confusing. It's a whole other world. And the thing is, I spent weeks and weeks trying to research SEO. I just didn't get it. And I think the main thing is using keywords and stuff. So I'm not going to go into SEO today. I know so many people, if you look on the tips and stuff on Etsy, it used to wind me up, because I just want some genuine tips that may just boost me a little bit. And that's what I'm trying to give you today, is some little tips that could boost you here and there. It's not going to be do SEO and do all that, because realistically, who's got time for that? I know a lot of people do. Don't get mad in the comments. Don't worry too much about SEO. If you've got the time for it, research it, because I think it does help, but I'm not going to go into that today, basically. As well as uploading as many items as you can on Etsy, also try and upload as many photos as you can on the listing, including videos as well. So I think you can upload one video and then a bunch of photos. So try and use that as much as you can for your advantage. You could even use the last few photos, if you've got no other photos, to showcase your other items that you've got on Etsy, or put like a little information photo of just like some information about your shop or anything like that. Just try and utilize the photos as much as you can, because you're given that option. I need to do it myself. Some of my items have got one picture, and that's just really lackluster of me, because I focus mainly on my website, so I'm not that bothered about Etsy. But if you are, I would definitely do that more. So now we're going to move on to your title of your Etsy listing. Now, you've got a certain amount of characters to use them all if you can. For me, I put the key title in capitals at the beginning. You can only use 3 capital letter words in your title for some reason, so I use that to my advantage. So the first 3 words are what the item is. So pink flower earrings, for example, that would be in capitals for me. You don't need to lay it out like mine. This is just how I do it. And then I'll put like a dash or something, and then put a bunch of keywords that may be searchable. So this is sort of like SEO, but put stuff that people are actually going to search. And think outside the box a little bit. Think what you would search, instead of just putting flower earrings, pink flower earrings, floral earrings. You can put those things, but also put gifts for women, Christmas, stocking fillers for children, whatever it is. Try and make it a little bit longer and a little bit more realistic to what people are actually searching, because then you're more likely to come up on more pages if you do that. And this is the same with the tags as well. So when you go into Etsy and you're uploading a listing, you get 13 tags. Use every single one. Even if you're putting your brand name, put anything that sort of relates. I always think you should put the same keywords in your title as your tags to like ultra boost it, if that makes sense. So if you put Christmas gifts for women, put that as a tag as well. There are certain ones that you can't do them too long, obviously, but if it's like floral earrings, handmade earrings, stuff like that, make sure you put all your tags in there, because you're wasting an opportunity for your items to be boosted in that category if you're not using them. And make sure they're related to your product as well. Don't put random stuff like fidget spinner if it's clay earrings. That doesn't make sense. So my last 2, I know I've like sped through this, but I just wanted to be quick and snappy to give you the tips that you need, sort of thing, rather than going on like other people do. No offense to anyone else, this is just how I wanted to do the video. So my next tip would be have regular sales if you can. You can just do them for like 24 hours or something, but try and keep doing sales, because I do think Etsy boosts it when you have a sale, or if you have free shipping or something like that. I think they do boost it, so try and do that if you can, but if you can't financially do that, then don't. The other thing I would suggest is maybe price up your products slightly so that you're allowing yourself to be able to have a sale and still make enough money. So instead of putting your products at like £4, like I was saying earlier, put them at £6, and then you can put a sale and you've got that flexibility. But don't price your products that low. Because also you do need to take into account Etsy fees. If your products are worth £6, don't price them at £6, price them at like £7. So you're giving that room for Etsy fees, else you're missing out. I need to take my own advice because I haven't done this, but I'm just wanted to give that advice to you because I will be shutting my Etsy shop soon anyway, so I'm not too fussed about mine. But for tips for anybody that does have one, try and price it up a little bit more so that you're leaving room for Etsy fees, because they are no joke, guys. They are quite high. And the last one that I'm going to give today, which I feel like I've not gave that many, but I've got so many more, so if you want to see more, as always, comment down below, let me know. So the last one for today, I would say, is encourage reviews. So reviews obviously really boost you. There is a star seller as well that you can get. There's lots of different criteria that you need to meet, but if you can try and get star seller, I do think that boosts a little bit. For me, when I got it, it didn't really make much of a difference, if I'm honest, but if you're starting up, it might be a good boost for you to get that. I actually used to email my customers after, or message them on Etsy and just say, if you had a good experience, please could you put a review on Etsy, anything like that. A lot of people do anyway, but just make sure your customer service and your products are good quality, you're packing them well, and you're shipping them out in the correct sort of dispatch time that you need to, and then you're going to ensure good reviews. But honestly, guys, just make sure you're posting. That's the main thing, is put up listings, because if you don't, you're not going to get sales. If you've got one or two things on there, you're just not going to get boosted. So just do the simple things at first of posting as many pictures as you can. Take time on your listings to make sure that they're best quality that they can be, and you'll have such a successful business. I started on Etsy just over 4 years ago, and now I have got my own website and I'm doing it full time. So it really can happen to anyone, and I've seen businesses get 20,000 sales on there, 50,000 sales. I've earned a few thousand sales on Etsy in the 4 years that I've been doing it, but there are businesses that have made so much more than me, and there are businesses that have made less than me, but they will get there and you will get there.
That was inspiring.
What a preach. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was useful. Again, if you want to see more of these, then let me know in the comments. I can give you way more Etsy tips. And if you don't want to use Etsy, don't use Etsy. Don't feel pressure to use it. Make your own website. The only downside to that is that obviously you need to pay for a website, but you're also paying for your listings to be on Etsy. You're also paying them fees. So sort of take that into consideration, weigh them up and see what's best for you. If you're already getting some sales, try and make yourself a website. If you want to see a video on that as well, I always say this, but if you do want to see a video on anything, please suggest them in the comments, because I've got a whole list on my phone of video ideas that I want to make, and anyone that suggests any, I always add it to the list as well, because I want to cater to you. So if you want to see a video, I'll make it. No problem. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm scheduling these videos because I'm going on holiday at the end of the year, so I think this will be out in December. So if so, have a wonderful Christmas, have a wonderful rest of your year. I shall see you in the new year, and make sure you follow me on my social media, linked down below, so you can keep up with more tips and hacks on my Instagram and TikTok. I'll see you later. Bye.